Ma'am, I need you to calm down. Do you know where you are?
I don't know where we are. We just went off the road, but you have to help us. She won't wake up. I don't think she's breathing.
Okay, I'm locating you now and I'll send help. You must stay calm.
This can't be happening. Why is this happening?
Okay, just get in the car.
Hey, don't let me do anything stupid.
Okay, let's go party.
911, what's your emergency?
According to Mothers Against Drunk Driving, a person is killed in a drinking-related accident every 53 minutes. By the time you leave this assembly and move on with your day, someone else's life has tragically ended because of a bad decision.
We never think a tragedy is going to happen to us. Oftentimes, teens justify drinking and driving by saying, I know this road, I'm just a little buzzed, not drunk, or if I don't make it home, my parents will kill me. We're more worried about being caught than we are about harming ourselves or others. If you drink and drive, when was the last time you thought about the risk of hurting someone instead of thinking about being pulled over or your parents finding out?
You are about to hear stories from real people who have been affected by drinking. As you watch the video, think about your own life and the lives of those you care about. The people in these stories are really no different from you and me. So if you decide to drink, even one time, this can happen to you.
For those that think this will never happen to you, I was you. What's really funny is my thought was always, I only have so much time before I have to go to college and straighten out my life and study and everything, so I wanted to be wild and fun while I had time to. That was my thought, and I mean, that's what got me here. The night of my accident, I was drinking at work. I had a little bottle of vodka and I hid it in the bathroom. They decided to send me home from work early. This was not any different. I had drove up and down that same road a million times, drunker than I was that night. I thought I was the best drunk driver. But it didn't stop this from happening. I completely flipped my car, and I had wrecked a car once before. I'd actually been drunk in that accident as well. The first thought was, oh my God, not again. Not again, my parents are going to kill me. I remember feeling like my hips were right here, and the rest of my body was right here. And then the next thing was I woke up and I saw my parents standing next to me. I'll never forget looking up and seeing my dad cry. Never seen my dad cry in my whole life. That's the hardest thing, is having to try and forgive myself for doing this, not only to me, I did this to everyone else as well. My injuries, I had shattered my vertebrae, T6 and T7, which are up here. I broke T4 and T5, which are above that. And then I also broke T12 and L1, which are down here, and they're still compressed to this day. They're still compressed. What they did for my surgery was they took the shattered pieces out, they ground it up, they made a paste, put it back in, transfused it with the good ones above and below it, and put in 24 screws and 2 rods. If you feel my back, it feels like just this block. My nerves and muscles trying to regrow over that has caused me incredible amounts of pain. A day in my life, it's not very exciting. I don't drive, so I don't get out a whole lot. I don't work, so I don't have anywhere to be, or anything to do. It's just depressing. If I would have had any idea of the things that I have to go through or what I put my family through, I would have never done it. No way. Because there I am at 17 years old, peeing or pooping my pants, having to wear a diaper. Because I did that, because I got behind the wheel. And I had nobody to blame but myself. Nobody made me, and I've done it a million times before. It was no big deal. I never got to do all kinds of things I really wanted to do. I don't get to feel my feet touch the ground again. Oh my God, I used to love to dance. I loved it, and I only dance in my dreams now. If I could go back in time and take that pledge, there is nothing that would stop me. Nothing. If I could take away having an accident, if I could take away not peeing in my friend's car on our way out, there's nothing that would stop me. I encourage everyone to take the pledge. It may not happen to you, but why take the chance? It's not worth it. It's not. If you're okay with breaking the hearts of every single person that loves you, if you're okay with hurting everyone around you and changing people's lives not for the better, then do it. Get behind the wheel drunk. It's a good way to do it. You think it's not gonna happen to you? I was that girl. I was that same person. It wasn't gonna happen to me.
While physical injuries are the most noticeable, they're not the only negative effects of underage drinking. It is illegal for anyone under the age of 21 to possess or consume alcohol for reasons that go way beyond drinking and driving.
There are criminal and social consequences of underage drinking that will not only affect you now, but will have major effects on the future you have planned.
First off, a DWI is expensive. Between fines, court costs, and attorney fees, you're looking at a minimum of $2,000. This doesn't include the years of high insurance costs and the mandatory education classes you will have to attend. A DWI is embarrassing. You'll have to make humiliating court appearances where your name will be published in the local newspaper. Your driver's license will be suspended, so you'll have to get a ride everywhere. And as a bonus, when you do get your license back, a breathalyzer ignition device will be placed in your vehicle at your expense for 6 months. Imagine the impression that leaves on a first date. There are also practical implications to a DWI. I just started filling out college applications, and did you know that most schools require you to answer this question? Have you ever been convicted of a crime? If you have a DWI on your record, the answer to that question is yes, and most likely your application will end up in the denied stack. If you're like me, you have no idea what you want to do with your life. But I do know that a DWI conviction will close the door to many potential career options. For instance, an accountant, architect, counselor, lawyer, physician, or veterinarian all require a license or certification that you may not be eligible for if you have been convicted of a crime. You see, one poor choice now can change the course of your life forever. Stay safe and sober.
All of that, the expense, the embarrassment, and the change to your plans is just if you get caught drinking. If you injure someone, or worse, kill someone, the consequences are much more severe.
How would you feel if someone you love was taken from you? What would your life be like if your best friend, your girlfriend, your parents, brother or sister were all of a sudden gone? Blake Boatwright is a 19-year-old from Buffalo, Missouri, and unfortunately, he knows exactly how it feels.
Bailey was a special little girl. We always did everything together. We played sports, basketball and t-ball and wiffle ball out in the front yard all the time together.
Bailey was very full of life. She loved to laugh, she loved to giggle.
A very unique little girl. She was, she liked to play with her dolls, but she loved playing sports.
She played harder than anyone. She was very kind. She was a headstrong little girl.
I would rather spend my time with Bailey than with any of my friends. It was just how our family was. The day of the accident, I remember going to a wedding reception at Hammond's Tower.
And the kids were really excited to go all dressed up and fancy, and she just thought she was the prettiest thing ever.
I just remember messing around in the elevator on the way down after it was over and walking out into the parking lot to our vehicle.
We headed home on 65 Highway, and Tim said, "That car's coming right at us." In a matter of seconds, we hit head on. The console in the back seat had come up and hit Blake in the eye, and his eye was all swollen. Bailey was fine. She'd undone her seatbelt, and she was really scared. Tim had got out of the vehicle. He couldn't walk. My right leg was broken. It was in an L shape. The next thing I know, I turned around and Bailey's little head slumped over. And at that moment, I thank God that she had passed out so she wouldn't be so scared. I didn't know at that time that the seatbelt had severed her liver and Bailey was bleeding internally. She died 5 minutes after midnight. The young man that hit our family was only 21 years old, and his name was Wesley Cabela.
They put me in the same ambulance with Wesley, and all I kept hearing was them talking about alcohol. A million things going through your mind, then it seemed like everything just stopped there for just a minute.
In other news tonight, a man from Virginia faces charges of vehicular manslaughter and assault after a late-night accident on Highway 65 north of Springfield. The Highway Patrol says 7-year-old Bailey Boatwright from Buffalo died from injuries she suffered in a head-on collision. Little girl's parents and brother suffered moderate to serious injuries. They were taken to St. John's Hospital.
It was not an accident. My daughter was killed in a car wreck because there was nothing that happened to my daughter that was an accident. It was a choice that someone chose. He chose to drink and drive. I actually feel sorry for him because I cannot imagine living with what he did.
I don't understand how someone could be so not responsible and take the life of a little girl. It meant so much to everybody. It just didn't seem real for a long time afterwards. I couldn't do a lot of things I like to do, and knowing that Bailey wouldn't be there at the end of the day, I had some rough times. If Bailey were still alive today, I know we'd still be close. I know I'd still be coming back to all of her ball games, and I know we could talk about anything. When I was in high school, my school participated in Safe and Sober, and I took the pledge out of respect for Bailey. When people hear our story, I want them to think about how it would feel to lose their sister or lose someone close to them. It's all about choices. Our choice was made for us by another man, but the choice to not drink until you're 21 is up to you.
Blake never got to say goodbye to Bailey. Neither did her mom or dad. It only takes one wrong choice to negatively change your life or someone else's life forever. Luckily, you have the opportunity to make a positive choice to keep your friends, your family, and yourself safe.
You're about to receive a pledge card. We've signed it, and we want you to sign it too. By signing the pledge card, you are agreeing to remain alcohol-free until you are 21 years old. Taking this pledge is a big commitment, one that will require the positive support of your friends and family, which is why your pledge card must also be signed by a parent or guardian.
Taking the pledge is your choice. You might have made bad decisions in the past, but that doesn't matter anymore. Your pledge starts now, and know that you are not pledging alone. Encourage your friends and classmates to make the same commitment for your safety, for your family, for your future. Take the pledge.
Hello, I'm Kurt Larson, founder of the Missouri Safe and Sober program. As a trial lawyer, I am reminded daily of the damage drinking can cause, especially for teenagers. Your generation is under unique pressures that are difficult for any adult to understand. However, I want you to know when it comes to alcohol use, you always have a choice. I started this program in hopes of giving you that choice, a choice to stay safe and sober until you are 21 years old. Your school will be competing with other similar-sized schools across the state to get the highest pledge rate, and the winning school in each division will receive $1,000 to use toward activities like Project Graduation. If your school gets at least a 70% pledge rate, it will be entered into a drawing for $500 prizes. Please, talk to your friends and encourage them to take the pledge. Taking a pledge against underage drinking is a brave decision, and I thank each of you for your choice to stay safe and sober.